Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so before starting the technical development, I'm just going to give some overview. Okay, so we are using a language in the developing. Okay, a language means application language. Okay, so this language is very easy. Okay, no need to write down much more coding. Okay, so where you need to do the coding in the business central, suppose that there is some customization, there is some new requirement, okay, which is not existing in business central, right? So this is the ready-made ERP developed by Microsoft. So this is not possible. It is going to complete the requirement of any customer 100%, right? So approx 80% requirement should be fulfilled by business central, right? But 20% you need to develop, you need to add the features according to the requirement of the company, right? So functional person will understand each and every requirement of your client, your customer, right? And after that, functional person will find out there is some new features you have required according to the business requirement of your customer, right? So who will develop all these things? So technical person will develop each and every things, right? So functional person will let you know that what you need to add and what new features you have required to add in the business center, so that the requirement of the customer can be successfully completed, right? So we will understand 7 different type of object in the business central. Okay, so what is the object in the business central? So first one is we will learn about the table. Okay, second one is the pages, third one is the report, fourth one is core unit, XML port, right? And sixth one is table, page, report, code unit, XML port, and you can see all these objects here. Next one is the query. Okay, so 6 different in the Navision. Previously there was 7 one, and the second one is menu shoot. Okay, so these are the objects we need to understand in a detailed way. Okay, so you have already seen there is a page. What is the page? Page is just like the interface where user will enter the data, user will feed the data, and data will store in any table, right? In the functional side I have already shown. If I click here, okay, so what is this? This is the page, right? You can find out if you go to the help and support. Okay, inspect pages in data. So you can see this is the page. Okay, and this is the type of the page, right? So there are 11 different type of pages. We will understand one by one. Okay, so page is just like the interface where user will enter the data, okay, or user will only read the data. Okay, so in the page section we will understand all the different type of pages, their trigger, and how we will write down the code on their trigger. Okay, so in the same way, table, in the table we will create different type of table, okay, where we will insert the data in the table. In the backend there is the SQL server, okay, where our data will store in SQL server, right? So I will create the table in the business center, but automatically our data will our data will store in the SQL server, right? So whenever I develop a new table, then table will be synced in the SQL server also. Okay, you will find out this table has been created. So you have not required to create table in the SQL server directly. You need to do each and everything in the VS Code, Visual Studio Code, and our table will be stored in the SQL server in backend, right? So next one is the report. What is report? Okay, report, you have already seen that there are different type of report. Purchase order report, sales order report. So you can see, if you go there and if I click here, then this is the report, right? And if I'm going to click on the preview, so we develop the report in a particular format according to the requirement of the company. Okay, so for developing the report, we get the details from any tables and we display the data in a particular format, right? So you can see this is a report, right? And you can find out we are getting some data here, and we are getting all the data from different table. Okay, suppose that we need to fetch the data from 2 or 3 different table, and we need to display the data in a particular format our client or customer has provided. Okay, so in the report section we will understand different type of reports. Now the code unit. What is code unit? So code unit is a group of function, okay, where you will find out different type of logic. Like suppose that in the previous classes we were discussing, we were creating the sales order, we were creating the purchase order, and after posting our data was flowing one table to another table. Okay, so where the logic has been written, logic and the coding has been written in the code unit. Okay, so you can see here, if I show here, then after installing the Business Central and after installing the Business Central, you need to install the VS A language extension. Okay, so after installing the A language, you will find out this is the base application. In the base application you will find out, click here and you can see these are the objects, right? So if I click on the table, so these are the tables, right? These are the tables provided by Microsoft. Our data is going to store in all these tables. If I'm going to talk about the customer, suppose that if I'm going to create one new customer, then our data will store in this table, and this is the column of the table, right? So if you double click here, then, or you can right click and go to definition, so you can see this is the table number 18 and the table name is customer, and you can see these are the logic and these are the fields, and the logic has been written here. Okay, on the table level you can write down the coding, on the page level you can also write down the coding. Okay, so this is our table. In the same way, you can click on the pages, right? And these are the pages. On the page level you can also write down the code. Okay, so on the page level you can also write down the code here, right? So these are the different type of pages you can see here. In the same way, these are the reports. These are the reports developed by the Microsoft, so you can see, and these are the XML port. So what is the XML port? XML port is used to import or export the data, right? suppose that we have a multiple number of rows in a Excel format or XML format, and if you want to import all the data in the business central table, then we can use the XML port. Okay, so both work we can do, importing or exporting the data. Okay, or directly if you want to export data from business central in the Excel format or CSV format or the XML format, then we can use the XML port, right? So we will see with the example how we can import or export the data using XML port, right? So query is used to show the data in a graphical representation, right? So we can use multiple table to show or display the data in a chart format or the graphical representation way, right? And this is the code unit I was talking about. This is a group of functions, right, in which there is a written the logic, how the data, what the condition should need to check in the code unit. Suppose that we were doing the process related to sales. Okay, so all the sales related transactions, there is a one code unit and the code unit number is 90. Okay, so I'm coming direct. Okay, sorry, a code unit is 80 number. Okay, if I click here, go to the definition. Okay, so you can find out these there are the logic written here. Okay, so all the coding has been done by the Microsoft, right? So different logic, different functions has been created in the code unit, and with the help of this code unit your process execute, right? So you can see there are multiple functions, right? So there may be possible you need to do some changes in the code unit, right? So next one is a page extension. Okay, so in the page extension, this one is the page, right, and this is the page extension. If I click here, so you can see these are the extension of the pages. We will also develop the new page. These are the base these are the base of the Microsoft. Okay, and we cannot made any type of changes in the table, pages, report, XML port, anything which is developed by Microsoft. Okay, but if you want to do any type of changes in the table, pages, report, XML port, then we need to create the extension of these objects. Okay, so we will understand one by one. So just you need to understand, we are not able to made any type of changes in the base coding, right? If you want to change, then we need to create the extension of any object, right? So these are the object provided by the Microsoft. Okay, so whenever suppose that you need to install the Business Central in your laptop, so I will provide you the link where you will download, and after that I will install, and I will let you know how we can connect Business Central VS Code to the client, right? So you can see this is our technical VS Code where we will develop any type of objects related work like the table, pages, report, code unit, XML port, right? So you can see if I run, okay, so I have linked this VS Code with the Business Central. Okay, so here you can see it is executing, right? And after successfully executing, you can see our client has been opened automatically. It means our VS Code is connected with the client, means Business Central client part, right? So before developing anything, just we need to understand the syntax of the business central, how we should write down the code. And today we will just understand the basic syntax in the business central, right? Okay, so you can see that after installing there is the option after whenever I will install, then you will find out this is the new folder and this is the new file. Okay, so first of all we need to create the new folder. Okay, suppose that you need to, so folder we will develop like this one. This is the report folder. It means we will create only report related task here, and this is the report extension. Suppose that you are doing any type of changes in the base section, then we need to work out. So you can see this is the report section, and click on the VS Code, and this is the code unit, right? And this is the events and query, report extension, table. Okay, so I have created different type of folder here, and specific to the work. If I want to create the new pages, then I will develop in this folder only, right? And this is the page extension. So what is the page extension? Page extension means if you are going to change in the base pages developed by Microsoft, then I will do the changes in this folder only, right? So you can see I have created one folder of the report, and here you can see just I have done different type of reports. So in the today session I'm going to make you understand only the basic logic, basic syntax of the business central, right? So this is the report folder, and I'm going to create new report, and on the report I will write down the basic syntax of the business central, right? So I right click here, and there is one option, new L file wizard. Okay, and I'm selecting the report, right? And I'm going to mention the name of the report. Okay, so you can write down any name of the report, then syntax VS Code syntax, right? And it is asking what is the name of the table. Then I'm using the integer table. You do not need to understand what is the integer table. We will understand in detail after some classes. Okay, so I'm going to develop this report with this table only, and click next, select only number, and finish. Okay, so this is the ready-made. After I have created all these things with the help of wizard, right? And I have also another option. Suppose that I'm going to remove all this. Suppose that I'm going to select all this, Control X, right? So there is nothing here, and you can create manually with the help of click on the Control and space. Okay, so we are getting all this. Then you can type R, T means T, and report, REPORT. Okay, so you can see T report means I'm going to develop the new report. Okay, then select this one and click enter. Okay, so we are getting all these things automatically, right? So automatically we can also create, but you need to define the ID of the report. Okay, and with the help of wizard you can also create this one. Okay, so I need to define what is the ID of the report and what is the name of the report here, and it is asking what is the name of the table from which you are going to develop this report. Okay, so I'm going to delete and paste this one. Okay, so this one, right? So you can see this is the data set. Data set means which table I'm going to use to develop this report. So this is the integer table, and this is the column of this table, and there is only one column. This is the number. You do not need to concentrate on this table and the number. We need to understand the logic, how we can write down the syntax of the Business Central, right? And these are the automatic generated request page. So what is all these things, we will understand one by one. Okay, so each and every table has a trigger. Okay, trigger means there are some triggers of each and every objects. If I'm going to talk about the report, so there are triggers of the report section. Okay, so you can see I'm here in the last here, and you can type trigger. Okay, and again control and space, then you can find out there are 3 triggers of the report. First one is on init report, on post report, and on pre report. Okay, so you can see I'm just going to select this one, begin and end. Okay, so there are 3 different type of trigger, but we will understand the trigger in the report section, right? So but we need to write down some code, some basic syntax. Okay, so there should be, we can write down the code only on the trigger section, right? So I'm using the trigger of the dataset table. Okay, so there is also a trigger available, trigger on pre-data item, trigger on after get record, and trigger on post data item. Okay, so I'm just trying to make you understand this trigger belongs to the table. Okay, so if I'm using any table, so each and every table has 3 fixed trigger. Okay, so each and every table has the 3 fixed trigger. Okay, suppose that I'm using 2 different table to develop any report. Okay, so 2 different table has the same trigger. Okay, for this table I'm using this trigger, and again if I'm using the another table, then that table we can use this trigger only for that table also. Okay, so this trigger is fixed for the report section. Okay, and this trigger is belongs from the report, and this trigger is belongs from the report table trigger, right? So we need to write down, and we can write down the code only on the trigger section. So currently I'm going to write down the code on after get record. Okay, so on after get record means just in one sentence definition of the on after get record. Suppose that there are 1000 number of rows in this table. Okay, so there are 1000 number of rows in this table, then that trigger will execute 1000 number of times. Okay, so I'm going to write down the code in this trigger only, and I'm going to set one properties here, set range number comma 1. Okay, so you do not need to understand what is this. Okay, so first of all I'm going to write down what is this. This is the comment. Okay, so any type of any line of code if I'm going to mention here. Okay, so suppose that I'm going to write down, so this is the comment. If I'm going to write down any line of code, and if you want to comment, then we can use this double slash. Okay, so it will be commented, that line of code will not be executed, right? So if you want to comment the single line, then we can use double slash. Again, if you want to comment the multiple line, then you need to use this one. Okay, so it will be used for multiple lines comment. Okay, इसका are you understanding?
Yes, sir, I was understanding.
Okay, so if you want to comment one line of code, then I will use this one, and if you want to comment multiple line, then I'm using this one. Okay, suppose that I have write down 50 number of lines, then it will be commented if I'm going to start from this and end from this, right? Next one is, if you want to create the variable. Okay, so you have already seen. So currently on which language you are working? Which programming language? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Any programming language you are using currently for your company?
Oh, now I'm doing training, sir. That's why I'm not using anything in this company.
Okay, okay, no issue. Suppose that you need to create any variable. Okay, so what is the variable? You can see in the last section I'm using var. Var means I'm going to define each and every variable here. Okay, so I'm able to define all the global. There are some global variable and there are some local variable. Local variable we use within a function, and global variable we can use anywhere in this object, in this particular report. Okay, so I'm going to define some variable like first number. Okay, so first number is the decimal type. Okay, so I have created one variable and first number, and this is the decimal type. Second variable I'm going to define second number, and this is also the decimal type. Okay, and the third one I'm going to define result, and result is also decimal number. Okay, so I have created only one data type. So what is this? Decimal is what? This is the data type. Okay, so we will understand data type. Okay, so different type of data, different data type we will understand, like the integer, okay, decimal, date data type, code data type, text data type, right? So different type of data types we will understand how we can use. Okay, so suppose that I'm going to use first number. This is my variable, and I'm going to define first number as 10. Okay, so what is this? This is the assignment operator. Okay, so this is assignment operator, right? It means I am assigning something to this variable. Okay, so if you put your cursor here, then you can see it is showing that this is the global variable and first number as the decimal data type, right? So I'm assigning what I'm assigning 10 to first number. Okay, so what is the value of first number? First number value is 10, right? In the same way, I'm assigning second number, and second number is supposed that I'm going to define 20, right? So what is the value of second number? Second number value is 20, right? And decimal type is what? Decimal type means we can define the value as the decimal, like 20.22. okay, so this is the decimal value, and this is the integer value, but I have assigned this one as the decimal value. Okay, so in the I can use decimal as the integer, but in the integer I cannot define the decimal value, right? Suppose that I'm going to define another variable like third number. Okay, I'm taking this as the integer. Okay, so what is the integer value? Integer value means minus infinity to plus infinity I can define. Okay, minus to plus infinity I can define its value, right? So suppose that I'm going to assign, so each and every line is closed by semicolon. Okay, so if I'm using the semicolon, it means our first line of code has been completed, right? So each and every line should be closed by the semicolon. Now I'm going to write down third number is, suppose that I'm going to define 22.45. okay, so you can see this is the integer, but here what I'm going to define 22.45. okay, so in third number is integer, but I'm going to define it as the decimal value. Okay, and if you want to display the message is just a function. Okay, and in this message we need to pass the parameter as the text only. Okay, so what type of value we need to pass? Parameter as text only. Okay, so we need to pass the parameter as text only. And what is the text? In the text we need to define in single character, single quotation, right? So I'm going to define the value of third number is %1 comma third number. Okay, so what the message we will get, it will show the message like the value of third number is %1. What is the meaning of %1? %1 represent the first value after comma. Okay, after comma this is the first value. Okay, so anything we are getting in the third number, it will show at the place of %1, right? So what the message we will get? The value of third number is %1. At the place of %1, what we will get? The value of third number. And what the value of third number? 22.45, right? So we should get the value or message like the value of third number is 22.45, right? So I'm going to save. I have saved this one with the help of Control S. Now you need to run from here, start debugging. If everything is okay, then your client part will be open successfully here. Now you can search your report here. Okay, so what is the name of the report? The name of the report is this one, VS Code _ syntax. Okay, so you can search here VS Code, this one, right? This one, click here, and this is showing this error, right? Report 50119 doesn't have a layout. So one function and one property you need to add here, and the properties is process only is equal to true. Okay, so if you are creating any reports and if there is no layout of that report, so you need to mention this properties. Process only is equal to true. I'm going to compile again. Now you can search your report again, VS Code, this one. Okay, and click OK. Okay, so you can see we are getting this. The cursor has been stopped here. Now I'm clicking here. Click here. and we are getting this error. Okay, so it is showing the error Microsoft Dynamics nav.runtime 22.452 integer 32 bit. Okay, so system is not able to convert decimal to integer. Okay, what is the meaning? I am going to store decimal value to the integer data type. This is the integer data type and this is the decimal. So system is not able to convert decimal to integer, right? And that's the reason we are getting this error, right? So one more thing I'm going to do, I'm going to comment this line and I want to show the value of first number. Okay, save this one and I'm going to compile again. Okay, and another thing you can do, I'm going to write down one more line of code here. Result is equal to first number plus second number. Okay, so what will be the value of result? Okay, first number is 10 and the second number is 20.22, right? So I'm going to display the message. I'm going to display the value of result is what? Result. Okay, I'm going to save and compile again. Search VS Code. Okay, so we are getting this message. The value of third number is 10. You can see the value of third number is %1 means what? The first position after comma. So what is the first position? First number. Okay, and first number value is what? 10. Okay, so we are getting the value of third number is what? 10. Okay, in the same way, what we will get the second message, our code is going to be executed one line by line. First message we are getting this one, and after OK we will get the second message. Click OK. Now we are getting the value of result is 30.22. Okay, the value of result is 30.22, right? Because our result is going to store first number and the second number value, right? Ragulan, any doubt? Anishka?
All good, sir.
Isika?
No, sir, I haven't done.
Okay, so now I want to display some other type of message. Okay, so I want to display the message like the value of first number and second number is the result of first number and second number is so what the result. Okay, so the addition of first number at the place of first number I'm going to display %1, and at the place of second number I'm displaying %2. Okay, the addition of %1 and %2 is %3. Okay, and at the place of %1 after comma I'm going to use first number, second number and result. Okay, so Isika, can you please tell me what will be the message, what the message we will get after displaying? I'm going to comment this line. and let me know.
So the first number is 10, sir, and the second number we introduced is 20.22, and the result we get of 30.22, the result.
Okay, so what the message we will get properly?
30.22.
Yes, you are right. But what the message, whenever I will execute this report, then what the message we will get? Proper message.
Proper message. Like the result will be of 30.22, the proper message will be get, sir.
I'm asking, we will get the message. Suppose that we were executing before comment, we were getting the message like the value of third number is 10. We were getting the message. Then what the message we will get for this line? For this line only.
10.
We will get the message like the addition of, hello?
Yes, sir, yes, sir. Signal problem, sir.
Okay. So what the message we will get?
The addition of
Yes.
percentage 1 and percentage 2 and percentage 3 is 30.22.
No. What was the message we were getting at the place of this one?
Result first number plus second number. 30.22 first result, sir.
Rahulan?
The first message, sir, the value of the third number is that one goes to 10, I think, because you put the first
Yes,
number
10. So speak in this way, the value of third number is 10.
10.
Okay, so what the value of percentage 1? Percentage 1 means first number, and what is the value of first number? 10. The message we will get, the value of third number is 10 only, right? So speak in this way. Okay, so what the message we will get for this line?
The addition of the 10 and 20.22 is the results will be the in third question that will come 30.22 only.
Yes, we will get the message in this way, right? So Isika, any doubt? We will get the yes. So I'm going to compile again. Okay, so I'm going to compile VS Code again, and you will get the message. Okay, so first message we are getting this message, the addition of 10 and 20.22 is 30.22, right? So we are getting this message from this line, right? Okay, so I'm going to comment again. Okay, so in the same way, suppose that we need to write down the condition, okay, the if condition, if and else condition. If and else condition. Okay, so we have already know that what is the meaning of if and else. So I'm going to write down one line of code. If first number greater than second number, then message first number is greater than second number, right? And our statement is not going to complete. If my statement is complete, then it is okay, right? But if my statement is not complete, then we will use in the else condition. Else message will be first number is not greater than second number. We will get this message. Okay, suppose that first number value is 10 and second number value is 20.22. Okay, so what the message we will get, Isika?
First number, I mean, sir, message, no? 10 number is greater than 20.22. First message, sir, if condition.
No, my value is this one. First number value is 10 and second number value is 20.22. Okay, and if I'm going to execute this line of code, then what the message we will get?
10 is greater than 20.22, else if 10 is less than is not greater than of 20.22.
Okay, so what is the value of first number?
10.
Value of first number is 10 and second number value is what?
20.22.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
condition is true or false? 10 is greater than 20.22. This is true or false?
It's true, sir.
10 is greater than 20.22.
No, sir, it's false. Because 20
Yes.
is greater.
Yes. If it will be true, then this message will be execute. Okay. If it is not true, then else condition will execute.
Yes, yes.
Is it okay? So
Yes,
what
sir.
the message we will get? We will get the message this is not true. First number is not greater than second number because first number is 10 and second number is 20.22. Okay, so else condition will be execute. Then we will get this message first number is not greater than second number. Right? Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to execute this line of code here. Save and run. So I'm using VS Code syntax, right? And okay. So you can see first number is not greater than second number. We are getting this message, right? Okay, so another condition is another syntax like that. This one is the relational operator. Okay, so what the relational operator? Relational operator that greater than, less than. Okay, and
Less than
it's
equal.
this is yes, not equal to. This is what not equal to, right?
Yes.
And this is the less than equal to, and this one is the greater than equal to, right? So you can write down this type of condition. And suppose that you need to write down if you want to execute one line of code, then we can use this one. Okay, and if you want to execute multiple line of code, then we will use begin and end. Okay, so what is this? Suppose that if first number greater than second number, then begin end, right? If first number is greater than second number, then begin end. Okay, so you are able to write down multiple line of code in between begin and end. Okay, so I'm going to write down the code, like I'm going to display the message like first number is greater than second number, right? And you can write on another message. You can write on multiple line of code here, whatsoever you want to write down. Okay, so if it is true, if first number is greater than second number, then it will execute 3 different line, right? Else first number is not greater than second number. Okay, so if I'm going to change the first number value as 25, right? So you can see first number value is 25 and second number is 20.22. Then first number is greater than second number. Yes, it is true. Then we will get the message, this one. Okay, and if first number is not greater than second number, then else part message will be show, right? So you can write down any other message like hello world, my first line of code. Okay, so if it will be true, then we will write down, it will execute 3 different line. Okay, so if any condition, if you want to execute multiple lines, then we need to write down the code in between begin and end. Okay, and if we need to write down only one line of code, then we can use if and else condition, right? So I'm going to save and execute again, run. Okay, so VS Code. Okay, so you can see first number is greater than second number, and now we are getting the second message, and now we are getting the third message, and that's it. Okay, so we need to write down the code in this way. Okay, suppose that this is the constant value I'm going to define here. Okay, so this one is the constant value we are defining here. Okay, suppose that you do not want to use the constant value at the runtime, you want to enter the value. Okay, at the runtime you want to enter the value, then we can use the request page. Okay, so this one is the request page. Okay, so what is this? At the runtime you need to declare any value. Okay, so I'm going to define this one as the filters. You can define the name of group as the filter, and now I'm going to add the field here as the first number. Okay, and now I'm going to add the second number, and now I'm adding Control Z field as result. Okay, so I have added 3 different variables field here: first number, second number, and result, right? And what I'm doing here, I'm going to display the message, same line of code I'm going to display here, result is what? First number plus second number. I copy this one and I'm writing here, remove this one. Okay, and message I want to display message the value of result is %1 comma result. Okay, so first number value and the second number value we will enter at the runtime, right? And that value summation addition will store in result part and then it will display the message, right? So how it works, there is one more properties here. You need to add application area is equal to all. Okay, so what is this? Application area is equal to all. If I will not use the application area all, then we will not able to see this field on the request page. Okay, so first of all you need to understand what is the request page, and I'm going to show with example. I'm going to start debugging. So I'm searching my VS Code, this one. Okay, now you can see this is my request page, right? This is my request page, and you can see filters. You can see this is the name of the group I define here. This is the filter and this is the first number and the second number. Okay, I'm not using application area all for the result, and that's the reason we are not able to see here. We are able to see only the first number and the second number. Okay, so at the runtime I'm going to enter the value. I'm going to enter first number as the 2 and the second number as the 12. Okay, so what it will do, it will execute this trigger. Okay, so it will execute this trigger, and first number value and the second number value it will add and restore in the result areas, and after that we will get this message. Okay, so what the message we will get? Click OK. Now we are getting the value of result is 14, right? Now can you see my screen? Can you see my screen? Everyone can
Yes,
see
sir.
my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, Isika, can you see my screen? Okay, so you can see VS Code syntax. And what is this? This is my request page. Okay, so at the runtime we can enter the value here, and according to that we will get this message. Okay, so suppose that I'm going to define one more variable here. Okay, and I'm going to define as the 𝐂𝐨𝐧𝐬 type, and this is the option type field. Okay, so option is what? This is the data type, right? So I'm using this field here. You can see I'm going to add this field here, field Okay, so this is the field, and I'm using application area all. Okay, so this is the option type, so we need to define the option. Okay, so option I can define option members. So options you cannot define here, so I'm going to define option as, okay, so what will the value of first option? First option is blank, and the second option I'm going to define the addition, subtraction, multiplication, and the last one is division. Okay, so this is my option. Okay, before comma there is not any value, it means the first option will be blank, and each and every option will start from the 0. Okay, so blank value is 0, addition value is 1, this one is the second, third and fourth, right? So you can see I'm using this field here, and application area is equal to all here. Okay, so I'm not doing anything, just I'm going to show how the calculation type option type field looks like. Start debugging, and you can see how it looks like. I'm going to select VS Code, this one. Now you can see this is the option type. Okay, so 4 different options we can see here. Okay, so my requirement is, suppose that I'm going to select addition. Okay, and if I'm going to enter any value 3 or 5. Okay, so according to the calculation type our result should show here, right? Suppose that I'm going to select subtraction, then the result should show here according to the subtraction. Okay, so I have created one option type data type. Now, so what we need to do, we need to write down on the calculation type trigger. Okay, so when we want to change the value, its value should be changed according to the calculation type, right? So we need to write down coding on the trigger section of the calculation type. Okay, so you need to search trigger and one validate. Okay, so I want to do something on the validation of calculation type. Okay, so after validation, after this trigger, you need to write down the begin and end, and after that you need to write down the coding here. Okay, so what the coding we need to write down, if calculation type is addition, then result should be result is equals to first number plus second number, right? So I'm going to write down the code here. If calc type is equal to calc type scope resolution, if addition, then what should it should be result is equals to first number plus second number. Okay, in the same way I'm going to copy both line, paste here, paste and paste. Okay, so what I need to change here, if calculation type is subtraction, then this would be first number minus second number, and multiplication, then it should be first number multiplied by second number, and if it is division, then first number divided by second number, right? And each and every time the value will store in result section, right? And I'm going to make it editable is equal to false. Okay, so result should not be editable. I'm going to make it editable false, right? So I'm going to execute, run, start debugging. Now now you can see this is the VS Code syntax, and this is uneditable. You can see this is uneditable, and suppose that I'm going to 12 and 13 and I'm selecting what addition, then result is 25. If I'm selecting subtraction, then it is -1. Multiplication, this is this value, and this is the division. Okay, so according to our calculation type, our value is going to change here, right? If I'm going to change the first number, its value is not going to change, because I have write down the code only on the validation of this field, 𝐂𝐤𝐧𝐬 type. Okay, so if you are going to change first number and the second number, your result is not going to change, because I have write down the code only on the validation of 𝐂𝐤𝐧𝐬 type, right? So you need to write down the same logic. I'm going copy this one. I copy this one and paste the validation of first number and the validation of second number. Okay, so I have write down the same logic on each and every validation of the first number and the second number. Now you can start debugging. And you can see VS Code, right? Suppose that I'm enter first number and the second number and addition, then we are getting this value. Suppose that we are changing the first number as the 90, then our result is going to reflect. Okay, so each and every time our value is going to change. So everything is clear for the first class, Ishika? Ishita? Am I audible?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now I'm audible.
So any doubt till yet?
No, sir.
Okay, so you need to, so you have the access of the VS Code in your company?
Yes, sir.
So you can start doing the practice related to the coding, right?
Okay. Okay.
So I'm going to share you the video. Now you can do the practice.